Merry Christmas, everybody, and thank you so much for your patience. I know I take a little while to put some of these videos out for these events, but I always make sure to put them out before the next reset. I just like having a little bit of time so I can do some testing and figure out the mechanics so I can give you guys the best information I can. I gotta say, I love the snow effect that topwar put in there. It was a really nice touch. It's not a whole lot, but it really makes a difference. It's the details that make the game. Enough blathering. Let's get to what you guys came here for. The Christmas event. Now, the Winter Strike and the Snow Festival event, these models for this event have been used a lot recently, for example, in the Halloween event and the Thanksgiving event, so I'm not going to go too far into details on these. In short, complete the missions on the Winter Strike, you can pay money and get double rewards. You use these rewards for other events and as well as to get through the Snow Festival. If you've purchased the double rewards from the Winter Strike, you also get the premium rewards from the Snow Festival, and even if you max this out, you can still continue to get more rewards, such as the premium recruit voucher and 2 small VIT caps for every 500 points you get afterwards. Again, they've done this event with different skins a lot recently, so I'm not going to go too far into depth with it, but if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. More than happy to answer. Let's get to the more interesting stuff. Let's move on to the Christmas Magic Show. This is an interesting event. It's definitely new to me. I'm not sure they've done something like this before, but 5 times per day you're able to cast a spell and turn someone's base into something else. Now, there are 4 different things that you can turn someone's base into. You can turn it into a snowman, you can turn them into the Glaring Cabin, the level 1 version of the new skin they released. There's the Crystal Cabin, the level 2 version of the new skin that they released. And there is the Merry Christmas, one of the old base skins that exists in the game. Now, when someone casts a spell on you, you actually receive a buff. So when you cast a spell on them, you're giving them a buff. You'll notice at the bottom of the screen it says Magic Change Effect, not Enchanted. We used all our spells this morning, so I don't have one to show you on screen right now. But when someone uses their spell on you, they give you a buff. I've heard there's march speed increases. I've seen 20% HP increases, 30% HP increases, and 50% attack increases. So the buffs are a little bit all over the place, but this is something that would be very good to coordinate with your alliance members. Maybe save some of these for events like the World Boss, or some other events where you would like those combat bonuses, because I did notice that even though my base skin looked different, I was still getting the effects of the original base skin I had equipped. So for example, I had the Super Miner equipped, and someone cast the spell on me, so now it looks different. I was still getting the effects of the Super Miner, but I was also getting the buffs of the spell that someone put on me. However, if you try to change your base skin while the effect is on you, it will remove the effect entirely. So you'll lose the buff and your base skin will look different. Now, the spell that you cast on someone, it only lasts for 1 hour. So you'll want to time these out if you plan on using them for other events. There's also a minor glitch that I think might be worth mentioning. Bases that are under the cosmetic effect of this do seem to overlap with things in the game. So for example, if you have a 2x2 base and someone casts this on you, Dark Forces, Warhammers, or sometimes even other people's bases seem to overlap with your own base. So for example, this morning I was trying to run refugee camps and I spawned a refugee camp. I couldn't see it because it had spawned inside someone else's base. It took a little bit of finagling trying to hit just the right spot, but I still was able to click it, something that's worth noting. Now let's talk about the achievements. There's quite a few achievements in here, so you'll want to cast a spell 10 times. That's easy enough. Just cast your spell for 2 days. But also, there are achievements to be turned into each of the 4 variations 5 times, and to turn someone else into each of the 4 variations 5 times. Those 4 base skins I mentioned earlier. Now, one of the base skins that you're able to be turned into is the Snowman. Now, this is the one that I'm differentiating from the other ones, because all 3 other ones are somewhat random. There's one requirement for them, and I'll get to it momentarily. But if you want to be turned into a snowman, you have to be in the default base. So what I mean is you have to have these 1x1 bases, these bases that are very small. Doesn't matter if they don't look like these ones, if you have the pink ones or ones from other countries, it has to be the small 1 square base. And this red highlighted area I'm considering 4 squares. So a 1x1 base is the only base that can be turned into a snowman. So if you want to get that achievement, that's easy. Just pop yourself into that small base. Someone can turn you into a snowman. And if you really want to crank them out really quick, you can switch your base skin. So someone can enchant you. You can switch your base skin and switch back, and you'll go back to your normal base, so someone has the opportunity to cast the spell on you again. Because if you still have the effect on you, no one's able to enchant you. So as you can see here, Mummer's one of my alliance members. has already been enchanted. It lasts for 1 hour. They have 18 minutes left. So they can either change their base skin so it will get rid of the effect, or they would have to wait 18 minutes until someone's able to enchant them again. All of the other variations, you need a 2x2 base, so one that takes up an entire square that I highlight. Now, if you're a free-to-play player and you don't have a 2x2 base, don't forget about the recruit trial base skin that the majority of players got at the beginning. It's the only time I have ever seen this base possibly be useful. But if you have no other 2x2 bases, the recruit trial base skin will qualify, so you can still get those achievements for being transformed into something that looks like this. Alright, now let's talk about storytelling tonight. This is the event that's got everybody talking. As you go through this event, you'll notice that you'll have a short story in the middle of the screen, and then there are 3 potential answers that you're able to give. But each of the answers has a different cost. They may cost stockings, bells, or snow globes, or a mix between the 3. At the moment, mine just happens to cost bells. And of course, not every answer is the same cost. Now, the stockings are fairly easy to get a hold of. You can get a lot of those, so they're common. The bells are relatively uncommon, and the snow globes are rare. You are able to get all 3 of these items in the value pack, so you're able to get more of them. Of course, the snow globes are going to be the most expensive, but give you the most reward. Now, while all these stories do have a right answer, so of the 3, there is a right answer, and in my Discord, I have posted up a couple of spreadsheets that the community has started to make saying what the right answers are, so I strongly recommend checking that out. My link for the Discord is in the description below. I would like to thank Valin and Evil Aurora. They are the 2 creators of the spreadsheets that I've been able to post up in my Discord so far. And if I find any more spreadsheets related to this event, I will be posting those throughout the event, of course. Now, even though there is a correct answer, you're only able to get the real reward for it once. So you'll get a good chunk reward for getting the right answer the first time. However, these stories, as you complete the stories, you'll get a new one. And they are random, so you may see the same story twice. Now here, I just happened to stumble across this one. This is a somewhat rare story to pop up, and it only gives you 2 options instead of 3, but it always costs snow globes. Now, you can pay 10 snow globes to pick one of the answers, and that's always going to be the right answer, but the snow globes are hard to get a hold of, and they're kind of expensive. If you don't use the snow globes, within 30 minutes, the option will be taken away from you, and you'll have to pick the one with the timer, which is the wrong answer. You'll still get a couple of candy canes or something like that, but it's the wrong answer, so you're not going to get the most amount of rewards, but you're probably going to run out of snow globes real quick, so when you run up against one of these stories, it feels like a 30-minute speed bump. Now, while there is a right answer, not all of the answers are obvious. Some of them don't even make sense. The give and take, I was a little bit all over the place, but thankfully, of course, since that's the first story, that's the one we have the most information on those spreadsheets that have been posted up so far. The hero stories are stories that involve the heroes in-game, so if you read their bios and get to know their personality, it seems like if you answer the way that you think that character would act, that's usually the right answer. But sometimes the thing that holds you back is that you don't have enough of the resources. So for example, I've got a ridiculous amount of stockings, but I don't really have many bells or globes. So I may intentionally pick the wrong answer just to progress farther in the story, because again, if you complete all 3 of these stories, you're able to get the Glaring Cabin, the level 1 version of the base skin that got released. It also should be noted that when you get 3 options, it's not necessarily the most expensive option that's the correct one. They just have different costs, and sometimes the middle or even the cheapest one might be the right answer. But something else that you can do is, while you won't get many rewards, you can pick the cheap option every time and complete the stories as quickly as possible. However, you do want the rewards. Of course, there are multiple rewards that you can receive, and some of the rewards are random, so you may not get the same rewards that someone else got, but the reward that everybody is chasing after is the Crystal Cabin Voucher. These can be used in the store to purchase various amounts of items, including a base skin, but what's interesting is the level 2 version of the base skin they released is not in this store. You are able to purchase base skins, but you're able to purchase a box that gives you a choice amongst all these base skins here. Now, while we haven't been able to unlock it yet, because of course it's the first day of the event, a lot of us are theorizing that once you complete all 3 of the books in here and you get the level 1 version of this base skin, it will unlock the ability for you to be able to get the level 2 version of it, and I would bet that it's going to take these Crystal Cabin vouchers. So I would save these until you get a little bit farther in the event, have some more information come out. Again, it's just the first day of the event, so there is some stuff that we just don't know. Now, this next bit is my opinion and just kind of hypothesizing about how this is going to play out for most people. For those of us who were playing during the Halloween event, you'll remember that the rewards actually got better as you went through the event because you unlocked more of the board and you were getting more rewards. The Thanksgiving event, you basically got all the rewards on the first day or two, and then after that, you got almost nothing. This event feels like after you've completed these first 3 books that you're going to get significantly less rewards after that. Now, after you complete the books, you are able to go back, according to the directions in the game, to do a story over again. So as more information comes out and those spreadsheets get updated with more of the right answers, you can go back and pick some more right answers out of the stories. But I would bet after you've completed the first 3 books and you start repeating, you're going to see a big drop off in the amount of base tickets that you're going to see. So keep that in mind with how much money you're spending. They are making this event a 10-day event, so they're giving us a bit more time than some of the other events. But if you get half the tickets that you need for a base skin in the first 5 days, for example, don't think you're on a good track. I guarantee it's going to drop off, and it's going to be, those next 5 days are going to be very tough trying to get those tickets that you need, and it's going to require more money than you would have spent in the first half. So just something to keep in mind with your guys' budget. Don't overdo it. You know, obviously Top War is trying to squeeze as much money out of us as possible. So play smart, spend responsibly. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely looking forward to the bonfire event that's going on next week. Obviously, I'll be putting out a video on that as soon as I can. Don't forget to visit my Discord, link in the description below, so you can find the spreadsheets for all the answers for those Christmas stories while you're down there. Please drop a like. Thank you to everybody who subscribed, and as always, have a fantastic day and Merry Christmas.